Travel requirements for Filipino children. There is confusion out there about what is needed for a Filipino child visa holder to travel from Philippines to Australia, and many get into quite a worried state about this. Many also don't quite get how the rules work and how the laws work in the Philippines. Do you need a DSWD travel clearance? What do you actually need? We'll also explain briefly about Philippines child protection laws under the Republic Act 7610 and what you need to know about travel requirements for Filipino children. Filipino children, do they need a DSWD travel clearance? Now, DSWD stands for Department of Social Welfare and Development. This is pretty much like family services in Australia. Now, they make sure in this case that children are not being trafficked off overseas or in the wrong hands. So when is a DSWD travel clearance required? When there is a child under 18 travelling alone to a foreign country, and when there is a child under 18 travelling to a foreign country accompanied by someone other than his or her parents. So what it means is that unless there is a court order to the contrary, a child can travel overseas with their mum and or dad, either together or just one of them, without a travel clearance being needed. Okay, that should clear that one up. Now, travel clearances and fathers. Okay, be aware that an Australian sponsor can't go and pick up the child of his girlfriend or fiance and bring them back to Australia. As you will read below, there are laws here about adults being in the company of kids that they're not related to, and you don't want to put yourself under a cloud of suspicion. The same issue applies to your own biological children who are born outside of wedlock. If you have children from a de facto relationship in the Philippines, then those children are not in your legal custody. It's explained further below, so please listen on. You would need to get a DSWD travel clearance for them under those circumstances. With my advice, travel with the mum. Save yourself the headaches. Now, Australian visa applications and travelling children. Now, for a child to be included in an Australian visa application, they must first meet public interest criteria 4015. Now, what that means is the laws of the child's home country, in this case in the Philippines, allows them to travel and to leave the country under the circumstances of the visa. Now, and if anyone other than the mum has legal custodial rights over the child, then they must give their consent. Now, children born out of wedlock in the Philippines, under Philippines law, they are the sole custody of their mother. Remember, this is about the laws of the child's home country. It's not about the laws of Australia. Forget what you know in Australia. So if the parents weren't married, then the father of the child has no say whatsoever in whether they leave the country or not. Now, this is irrespective of whether he puts his name on the birth certificate, in other words, acknowledges paternity or not, and whether he lived in a de facto relationship and did all the right things. He can complain all he likes, but it will achieve nothing. It also means that if the parents of the child are still married, even if he was the worst father in the world and hasn't seen them or supported them for the last 11 years or whatever, we still need his permission before the child can leave the country. Now, unless the court gave full custody to the mother, which they don't generally do, we will need to gain his permission, or they will remain in the Philippines. Simple as that. Now, child protection laws in the Philippines. Now, there's something to be very, very aware of when you're here. Now, the Philippines for a long time was one of those countries where the pedophiles would head, knowing they could safely abuse kids and get away with it. Now, things have changed and there are very strict laws in place to keep kids out of harm's way. And anyone visiting the Philippines needs to be aware of these laws, or you could inadvertently get caught up in them by a well-intentioned but possibly overzealous law enforcement. Thus, my advice is not to even travel with kids without their mum. So basically, if you can't be in the company of a child, you can't be in the company of a child whom you have no right or reason to be around. Now, inviting neighbourhood kids or street kids in to watch TV with you or to accompany you somewhere, you could find yourself arrested. Now, pedophiles have always come up with excuses and justifications as to why the child was behind closed doors with them. Letting them play computer games, or giving them a feed, or giving them clothes or shoes, or taking them out on a boat for a treat, giving them a bed for the night. Thus, some fairly strict laws, thank goodness. But be aware of these laws and try to appreciate the reason for them existing, and be careful not to accidentally do the wrong thing, whether well-intentioned or not. Thank you. This video was brought to you by Down Under Visa, who specialise in visas for Australian Filipino couples. Please visit our website and complete a free visa assessment form, and please watch some of our other videos. Thank you.